the plot is there's just this kid, and he's kind of, and he kind of tries to have a sex life, and it's not too great, and he kind of tries to have a love life, and it's not too great, and he likes to kind of wants to have a chum life, and that's not working out. But he can have an intense life ripping off shit in the USA. It's an unfortunate truth for innovators that pioneers take all the arrows. So it's really, by the time punk came in, the first, second, and third comings, the New York, English, and finally Southern California third wave of it, I'd been kicked around so much by the music industry that my focus was anywhere in life except being a punk or what was going on in punk or what are punks doing or any of that, and I knew very little about all that when the movie was done. I think the soundtrack of the movie was the first time I heard the Circle Jerks, and I thought, that's pretty damn good. That's pretty fucking funny, and pretty good and pretty stripped down and all that, So I just really was a little clueless about all that, honestly. Alex personally came to my extremely humble apartment, which was just up the hill from the Whiskey A Go-Go off Sunset Boulevard in 1984. He was as large as the roof of the room, this very large young British guy with not particularly great British manners or anything. And he explained to me about the film he was making, and he said, I want you to do a song for me. Do what you want. And at the time, I'd had a hiccup in my career due to my wild lifestyle. I was sort of on the ropes and was not making much money, was not on a major, needed some breathing space. And I was living in an unfurnished efficiency apartment in Hollywood with a Japanese girl who couldn't speak English and a futon and a Stratocaster guitar. So I've done a lot of this kind of work since, and it's very, very rare that for something as finance intensive as a film that anyone will give you a carte blanche opportunity like that. It was like a gift from God to express myself. It was just wonderful. He gave me a cut of the film, and I just thought, wow, I'm a bright boy, even when I'm dumb. And I knew right off, I said, this is very good. This is something special. And look at these new faces. Okay, Harry Dean Stanton and Emilio Estevez, who were both very, very new at the time. Harry Dean was old new, and Emilio was new. And so I saw the film, and my initial instinct was to fulfill a personal dream, which was that I'd always wanted to write a hot rod, motorcycle, badass guitar, speed and death theme. So that was the first task. It really inspired by songs like the theme to the Wild Angels by Davy Allen and the Arrows, that sort of thing. So that was what I was going for at first, and I found this really simple theme, and then the changes are eerie. And they're made eerie because the film and a lot of Alex's scripts had a prescience about the eeriness of the American consumerist society, which is in the process of tumbling to where the consumer is down and the goods are up. It somehow illustrates on a really simple, clear, theatrical level what the USA is all about, commercially speaking, which is kind of a pugilistic ring or battleground for the different possibilities of the history of European Western civilization to come over here. Capitalist versus socialist versus Marxist versus Catholic versus Calvinist, and kill all life in the area and then fight it out. And it just shows in a very simple way young man, old man stuff in that thing, and does it in a way that's not too heavy, not too complicated, never retreats into dogma. I wrote the lyric around what I thought was Emilio Estevez's the young guy's character, mixed in with the way he depicted the overbuilt, jerry-built, low-rent California, and mixed in a little of myself. But so you have, I was riding on a concrete flab down a river, or concrete slab down a river of useless fat flab, is the idea, which is the sort of the two American obsessions, the eating and building things, and then basically he can't get fucked, he can't get kissed, and he's already obsolete. He's unemployable pretty much in the movie until he meets this old repo man, right? So that was the gist of the thing. But the part I liked best, the key line is, I'm looking for the joke with a microscope, which I just really liked because I was thinking about justice, and I was thinking about humor and identity and a lot of things, and I just thought that was a nice line for, like, Jesus, what's the meaning here, sort of thing. So that was the key line. My ace in the hole for getting this done was that I knew Steve Jones from the Sex Pistols, and he was in Hollywood, bouncing around as English people do, and they realize they're somewhere in the world with light and space and water and fresh air, where there's sunshine every day, and people love English people. So he was there, and we were friendly, and I thought he would do it. He was someone who could put the muscle in the riff. And then in addition, Nigel Harrison, who was the bassist with Blondie, who was also a friend, and he did the session. And it might be Clem Burke. Is that Clem? And fucking Clem, yeah. And Clem Burke was on the drums. And Clem was somebody I use at different times when I had something to do that wasn't a stooge project. Clem's a great drummer, and he loves to get out of Blondie and do something without a girl in it once in a while, I think. The song was done at Cherokee Studios in Hollywood, which was the place to do everything from Deep Purple to Bowie sessions at that time, as a bitchin' rock room in Hollywood. And I think at one point in the recording and mixing process, I wasn't getting as much of a bottom to the riff as I liked, so I thought it'd be a good idea to take a bunch of cocaine and see if it sounded any better, and that didn't help at all. So I had a little relapse during the sessions, and Steve just said to me the next day, "You don't remember last night at all, do you?" Nope. But it worked out, and the lyrics were, everything was carefully written before we went in. But the big kick I got out of it that I didn't expect was when the film got finished and it came out, and I saw that they'd had the people of the score, the actual score musicians, play my theme, and that was just wonderful to hear the da 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 da, and I thought that was just a marvelous thing.
I was riding on a concrete slab down the river of a useless flab. It was such a beautiful day. I heard a witch doctor say, I'll bear you into a toadstool. I'm looking for the joke with a microscope. A muscle twitch and auto swerves. You want to speak, you lose your nerve. Infinity throws you on curve, dumps you in shit you don't deserve. As life roars by you in a blur, each murmuring a dirty word.
Area artists who I've never met personally art bomb me from time to time from this river, and they throw up objects like this that relate to my work, like no fun. And on this particular one, they've listed Repo Man theme. So, pretty cool. Right on, Alex.